16 WAPT News Live at 5 starts now.
There's even one thing we can do to reduce this violence. If there's even one life that can be saved, then we've got an obligation to try.
I'm a lifetime member of the NRA. Let's enforce the gun laws we have in the book.
A major announcement from President Obama in the fight for stricter gun control, and the governor responds. We have team coverage. Plus, rain is continuing to cause problems in the Magnolia State, where annoying potholes are popping up. And hear what led up to a deadly helicopter crash in London.
Now, your weather first.
All right, 9 straight days of rain, a lot of it heavy, has taken its toll on area roadways. Potholes, huge potholes. Please drive carefully and be careful swerving, trying to miss them. You could cause an accident that way, so just be careful out there. It's going to be rough even after the rains end. Hey, we got a break in the rain this evening. Live Storm Shield 16 Doppler radar shows the rain's lifting off to the northeast. It'll be cloudy, cold, and drizzly behind it. These counties highlighted in blue, winter storm watch for late tonight. Right over to the maps, that upper level low will be coming into the area late tonight. And around midnight, rain and maybe some snow beginning to develop across parts of the area. Now, it looks to me as this storm system winds up towards morning. The heaviest snow will be in east central Mississippi. It'll be a close call for us. We could see maybe a dusting or so around the Jackson area. But I'll tell you what, east Mississippi, Meridian up to Starkville, could get nailed with a lot of snow. So we'll pin all of that down, and then the sun comes out. It's all ahead.
All right, David, thank you so much. Let's get right to some breaking news. Traffic is very slow on Highway 49 between Richland and Florence. This is following a crash. 16 WAPT's Aaron Kelly is on the scene.
We're on Highway 49 north in Florence. You can see the tracks here in the median from where a tractor trailer crossed over the median and it ended up here in the woods. Right now we know 4 people have been transported with non-life-threatening injuries. Traffic is moving in both directions very slowly with one lane open in both directions. They say it could take 3 hours to get this whole situation resolved. In Rankin County, Aaron Kelly, 16 WAPT News.
New tonight, kickback in Mississippi after the president announced one of the most aggressive gun control plans ever.
He announced those changes this morning, Stephanie. The president said he wants stronger background checks for gun owners, a ban on high-capacity magazine clips, and a renewed ban on semi-automatic rifles or assault rifles. And while President Obama is pushing for these changes, Governor Phil Bryant is saying not so fast. 16 WAPT's Tammy Eswick begins our team coverage tonight. She joins us now live in the newsroom with reaction from the governor. Tammy?
That's right. Well, before the president even spoke this morning, the governor sent this letter to Lieutenant Governor Tate Reeves and the House Speaker demanding legislation be drafted to block the president's efforts. Now, the governor fired back after listening to President Obama's plan today. Bryant says he agrees with background checks, but he does not want a ban on weapons. Bryant also talked about why he won't support limits on the number of bullets in a clip.
I can tell you as someone that's fired a weapon before, if you're being threatened, you want all the firepower you can get to save your life and that of your children.
But more than 10, is that necessary?
It depends on how many people are breaking into your home, how many people are trying to take your life, how many of those rounds do you miss? Certainly, as I said, we've been making weapons since the 1800s that hold 10 rounds. So I need as many as I need to protect my children.
And Darren, Bryant says the government needs to focus on concentrating on rules that are already on the books and not going outside of that.
Could be a long fight.
Absolutely.
All right, Tammy, thank you. All right, Stephanie is standing by in the studio, and she continues our team coverage.
Well, Darren, in addition to urging congressional action, President Obama is taking some other steps to help curb gun violence. And there's more reaction from those who are avid about keeping their gun rights the same. 16 WAPT Sally Kidd continues our team coverage from Washington.
Stephanie, the president says what he's proposing are common sense measures. Gun rights advocates say it's the wrong approach.
We can't put this off any longer.
The president's plan calls for an assault weapons ban and a 10-round limit on magazines. He wants universal background checks for gun owners, better access to mental health services, and more resource officers and better emergency plans for schools.
If there's even one thing we can do to reduce this violence, if there's even one life that can be saved, then we've got an obligation to try.
Also at today's announcement, 4 children who wrote letters urging the president to take action, along with parents who lost children to gun violence.
If you think that this cannot happen to you and that you will never be touched by gun violence, you are fooling yourself. This is the start of a long battle, and we are prepared to fight it to the very end.
The NRA fired back with a statement, quote, attacking firearms and ignoring children is not a solution to the crisis. Only honest, law-abiding gun owners will be affected and our children will remain vulnerable.
Are the president's kids more important than yours?
And in a new ad, the NRA called the president an elitist hypocrite.
Then why is he skeptical about putting armed security in our schools when his kids are protected by armed guards at their school?
Gun Owners of America says the plan won't reduce violence.
We think what he has tried to do is to politicize the issue by proposing a series of things which are frankly too extreme to ever pass into law.
The Senate Judiciary Committee will begin hearings on gun safety proposals in the next 2 weeks. In Washington, Sally Kidd, 16 WAPT News. Stephanie.
Thank you, Sally. A new Associated Press GFK poll shows nearly 6 in 10 Americans want stricter gun laws. Hundreds of viewers have voted in our web poll on gun control. Do you think stricter gun control laws could help curb crime? 25% say yes, while 75% say no. You can vote tonight on WAPT.com. A Pearl Elementary School student is facing punishment tonight after he took a pellet gun to school. School leaders say the plastic gun looked like a real 9mm, but with a colored tip. It happened this week at Pearl Upper Elementary. Leaders learned the boy had the gun in class after another student saw him showing it to his friends. She told her parents, who in turn called the school. Another school threat. A Vicksburg Intermediate School student has been suspended after school leaders say that student took a hollowed-out hand grenade to school. School leaders say the 11-year-old student had that inactive hand grenade in school Tuesday. The superintendent says the student did not make any threats and was showing it to friends when a teacher found out. The student is suspended for 10 days and will go before a disciplinary review committee. A Terry High School student is accused of making a threat on Facebook to blow up his school. The school announced the Facebook text to 2 students this morning, explained what happened, and said there was no danger. The post said, quote, "These halls are so crowded, I need to blow this place up so they would build a new school," end quote. Well, school leaders say they will take appropriate action against the student who posted that text. Another story that we are following closely for the 9th day in a row, more rain in the state. Darren is in our newsroom with the day's weather effects.
Boy, when will it ever end, Stephanie?
Right.
You know, all that rain and all that water is causing some serious problems on roads. Specifically, potholes are popping up on one of the busiest roads in the metro. Yeah, road crews have found several potholes on the spillway. As 16 WAPT's Andrew Kinsey reports, the steady rain and cold temperatures are being blamed for the rough ride.
Any of those potholes yet on the spillway?
Oh my gosh, yes.
After 9 days of rain, the ride is getting rough across the Reservoir Spillway.
Lord, yeah. They everywhere.
Officials say cold, pounding rain caused more than a dozen nasty potholes across the westbound lanes.
Routinely have potholes after winter, but not like this. There's something going on there.
People we talked to say the holes force them to change how they drive.
You only can go like 40, 45 because you've got to dodge the holes.
Reservoir officials say this is the first time they've ever seen this many potholes at once.
Been out there all day yesterday and all day today, drying them out and trying to patch them.
As soon as it gets a crack somewhere and that water gets down under it, I mean, people just steady hitting it. I mean, it's going to be a pothole there. You just got to look out for them.
Reservoir officials tell me they're going to have to wait until the rain stops so that they can evaluate the potholes. They say it could be quite an expensive job to fix. On the spillway, Andrew Kinsey, 16 WAPT News.
And the pothole problems continued in Jackson. As David showed us earlier, we found MDOT crews out working earlier today to fill the large holes out on I-220. Potholes were also spotted on I-20 from Clinton to the Stack. Well, all of this rain is also causing some flooding problems around the reservoir tonight. Take a look at this video. Officials say some areas south of the dam, that is, are seeing minor flooding. Engineers tell us over the past 2 days, 3.5 inches of rain has dropped into the res. That overflow forced the Reservoir Patrol to shut down access to a public park known for its fishing. More flooding in low-lying areas is possible. Well, metro area schools are waiting to decide whether to cancel class tomorrow for the snow. 16 WAPT's Scott Simmons is live in Jackson tonight to explain when they could make that call. Scott.
Darren, when to make that call. After all, most parents work. If the kids stay home, well, they got to have a plan to take care of the kids if there's ice or even snow. We're checking the roads out here in South Jackson. Check it out. It's real wet, but there's no ice yet. Certainly no snow. The Clinton School District is already talking about starting tomorrow late because of this snow watch. But even that call won't be made until tomorrow morning. District leaders say they just don't take the weather report when they make this decision.
Our maintenance director, superintendent, myself, 5 in the morning, out riding the streets, looking at bridges. Our district covers a lot of ground.
A lot of anxious kids hoping to hear there is snow on the way. You'll hear from them at 6, but we talked to a lot of people who know there is a price to pay if those kids miss tomorrow. Darren?
All right, Scott Simmons live. Thank you very much for that report. Well, we are just a month into winter, and we have seen heavy rain, flooding, even some mudslides. And Thursday at 10, we will show you what the rest of the season will be like and how you should get prepared. Well, Stephanie is standing by in the studio with new information tonight about a deadly butt injection case that happened right here in Jackson. Stephanie.
Well, Darren, a second woman is charged in that injection case, and she pleaded not guilty today. 39-year-old Natasha Stewart faces 4 charges, including murder and wire fraud. The Memphis native's attorney says she received the same butt injections that killed 37-year-old Karima Gordon back in March. Stewart's trial date is set for July 22nd. Tracy Lynn Gardner of Jackson also faces charges in the case. Her trial date is April 8th. As we take a live look at downtown Jackson, we are on snow watch today, as we mentioned. Let's talk to David now to see who could get some of that snow.
Well, cloudy and drizzly this evening, and temperatures will be above freezing. I'll tell you what, the target area is east central Mississippi between Meridian and Starkville. I think that's the area that will probably see the heaviest snow threat tomorrow morning as that area of low pressure moves along. Now, our chances here in the metro area are 50-50 for snow. That time frame is midnight to 7 a.m. A very low chance of anything heavy, but 50-50 on accumulating snow, dusting to maybe an inch or so. So I will nail that forecast down for you and let you know exactly what I'm thinking coming up.
2 people are dead after a helicopter crashed into a crane in London, what officials say that pilot did before the crash, and where Americans are being held hostage overseas. You're watching 16 WAPT Live at 5.
The Associated Press Best Newscast in Mississippi and an Emmy Award for Best Newscast in the Southeast region. This is 16 WAPT News, the one to watch.
For answers to legal questions regarding your automobile accident case, visit forthepeople.com, our consumer website. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Hey, baby girl. Welcome to a family of strong women. We take care of each other. We laugh a lot. And we live by faith. That's why the first time we ever saw you was at Baptist for Women. That day was a miracle. But it wasn't our first day there. Baptist feels like part of our family. That's where I take your great-grandmother to keep her heart and her body strong. And I go to their Center for Breast Health, not only because they pamper me, but because they helped me become a survivor. And stay one. Your mom went to Baptist to meet with a specialist. And what she learned is one of the reasons you're here today. All this is important because there's nothing more precious in this life than family and health. And Baptist for Women helps us take care of both, all in one place, for every age and every stage. 4 generations and counting, baby girl.
No peeking. Hold yourself. Okay, keep them closed. Now open them. Oh, guess what?
It's a new room for your mother.
Get revved up for the exciting Just Your Style celebration.
Swimming pool.
No.
Hot tub. Driving range.
On January 26th, you could win a brand new Toyota Corolla.
Beer garden.
It has 4 wheels.
Not a beer garden. I don't get it.
You're telling me.
Only at Lady Luck Casino, Vicksburg.
It's a car.
Today, it's hard to get a moment alone. But tomorrow, you could be swept off your feet. because Xfinity Internet from Comcast delivers the fastest in-home Wi-Fi to stream the best entertainment from anywhere in the house. Switch to Xfinity for $99 a month for 12 months with a guaranteed rate for 2 years, and there's no term contract. Plus, get HD DVR service free for 6 months. Tomorrow could be awesome if you call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Congratulations to Provi High senior Jay Sean Cornelius, selected as this week's Blitz 16 Bank Plus Scholar Athlete, a member of the National Beta Club and National Society of High School Scholars. Jay Sean plays football and holds a 3.21 GPA. Congratulations, Jay Sean Cornelius.
You're watching 16 WAPT News live at 5 with Mississippi's only Emmy Award-winning news team. Stephanie Maxwell, Darren Tito, and weather with Chief Meteorologist David Hartman. This is 16 WAPT News, the one to watch.
Well, be careful out there. Another accident on the stack there on 20. Roadways are wet this evening, but most of the rain has moved out, so just exercise caution. Here is live Storm Shield 16 Doppler radar showing the rain departing the area. Temperatures are above freezing. There could be some drizzle and fog early this evening, but I don't expect too much rain to fall. And temperatures should be holding right around 35 degrees. So here's the winter storm watch. I showed this to you at the top of the show, but the greater risk in my mind is over here on the eastern part of the state. Let's talk about it. Look at the dreary weather outside, a little bit of light fog. Traffic is moving along. Not much of a temperature range today because of the thick clouds. 36, 34, half inch of rain today. Over the last 3 days, we've had between 3 and 4 inches of rain. Today, the 9th straight day of measurable rain. So the big question, will we get some snow? Yes, there will be snow across parts of the area early tomorrow morning. For the rest of the evening, temperatures holding above freezing. We'll get close to the freezing mark in the middle of the night and towards morning. So the rain train is drying up. That's good news. There goes the latest disturbance, bringing the rain out of our area. Now an upper level low. A pocket of cold air is in East Texas and is moving to the east. Look at the clearing line and clouds breaking up. And I will say this snow threat thing is not a sure thing tonight. It's a 50-50 chance the way it goes. The question is, will that area of low pressure arrive in time to jump on whatever moisture is left to develop some rain, which should change over to snow in the middle of the night? So here is my forecast. There comes that area of low pressure. Later tonight, after 8 or 9, some rain will begin to develop. And then around midnight or so, there'll be this batch of wet snow, especially on the east side of that area of low pressure. And then as the night continues, the edge of the snow area, probably around Jackson and to the east. So it looks like the heaviest snow in the middle of the night and towards morning will be on the eastern side of the state in east central Mississippi, and then it should pull out very quickly first thing in the morning. So it's a close call. Maybe, and this is a worst case scenario, could certainly be less, but a dusting up to an inch or so across the metro area, and then further to the east out towards Forest and Raleigh, maybe a couple inches, and then over towards Meridian. Have to watch and see how it comes together. They could get a little bit more than that over towards the Alabama line. So in general, accumulating snow certainly possible towards the middle of the night and through the early morning hours. Grass and rooftops. The roadways look like they should stay wet. Sunshine Friday and into the weekend. Cold front comes in early next week, chills things down again. The good news is, though, after the threat of snow in the middle of the night, the threat of precipitation out of the forecast for a while. So drizzly and cold this evening, a period of light snow in the middle of the night. And any lingering snow first thing in the morning should move out quickly. I do expect some sunshine to break through the clouds in the afternoon. 48 degrees, so anything that falls will melt quickly. Clear and cold tomorrow night, down to around 28 degrees. A terrific stretch of weather after one of the wettest stretches of weather that we've had in a long time. We had a stretch back in 2004 this wet, but other than that, you got to go back to 1983, a long time ago, almost 30 years.
Now to some breaking news. We just got into our newsroom. Jackson police are on the scene of a drive-by shooting here in the capital city. It happened about 5 o'clock near Greater Tree of Life Church, which is located on Monticello Drive. Police say a child and a bus were involved in this incident. We do have a crew on the way to the scene, and we are working to get more information, and we will pass along those details as soon as we get them. More news coming up after the break.
Still to come, a deadly crash in London. Officials say the pilot tried to contact an airport before the crash, but something went wrong. We've got that story coming up.
This is 16 WAPT News, the one to watch. Live Storm Shield 16 radar is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue.